The Detroit Lions decided to extend Aiden Hutchinson just 6 days before the NFL trade deadline. The extension for Hutch does not go into effect until 2027, so it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the NFL trade deadline per se. But somebody brought this up in the comment section of my live stream today, that what if this is a way to entice someone to be willing to come to Detroit, knowing that we take care of our guys and that we'll have Hutch locked up for the foreseeable future, even if it's just for a short period of time. And you guys know how I feel. There's varying opinions of what the Detroit Lions need most, from cornerback to offensive lineman to edge rusher. And I am a edge rusher guy. I myself am not the president. Shout out to Lions Live 365, said he was the president of the AQM fan club. Well, I am a president of the consistent, solidified number 2 edge. I've never been a Davenport fanner, and I'm not one now, right? So the Detroit Lions may need to do something when it comes to a consistent edge opposite Aiden. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm looking for. AQM is having a career year. He only needs 2 complete sacks to have a career year. But what I am looking for is a needle mover and a game changer and consistency. That's what I'm personally looking for. Not sure AQM is that guy, but the fact that we are going back and forth about a practice squad dude is intriguing to me. I was right about James Houston. I believe that I'm right about AQM, but you can put your comments in the comment section below. On a scale, on a tier scale, where would you put AQM? Elite, great, good, or average? Myself, I'm going to put him in good. I need to see consistent. You can't go missing for 3 games. But beside the point, AQM will be a great depth piece as we are on a push to our Super Bowl. You guys know that I think the edge rusher opposite Aiden, we had Romeo Okwara at the time, is why we did not make the Super Bowl in 2023. You can put it on Josh Reynolds. You can put it on the Snake. You can put it on Dan Campbell not taking the points. I will put it on all of that. And I will also add that we could not get to Brock Purdy when it mattered. And that's what I'm looking for. With that being the case, the NFL trade deadline is less than a week away, and ESPN has some trade buzz for all 32 teams. Let's take a look at what they have to say, and I think this is very intriguing. This might answer a lot of questions that you guys have as to what my problem is with the pass rush position, specifically the edge. The Detroit Lions, 5-2. Chance to make the playoffs, 85.8%. Projected first-round draft slot, number 28. That means that we would lose in the conference, right? 32, 31, 30, 20. So we would lose in the divisional round. That's where they have us losing at. Here they have adding, subtracting, or sitting it out, meaning staying pat, not making a move. They say, Garziano says, adding. If anything, this is coming from ESPN.com, they need to make sure they have enough depth on defense to get them through the season, as last season proved. They have as much cap space as anyone, roughly $25 million per roster management system, and could afford a big name acquisition. I would expect they're looking more at depth options. Okay, I like where he's going. So Garziano says we're adding. I agree with that. Key positions of need. Well, isn't that a trip? Edge rusher. Who's been talking about that? The Lions rank last in pass rush win rate and desperately need to help across Aiden Hutchinson, or help across from Aiden Hutchinson. With better pass rushers, they wouldn't have to manufacture pressures with blitzes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I've been saying. Out of our defensive line, Hutchinson has 6, AQM 5, Davenport 1. No defensive tackle has a sack for our team. Out of the 23 sacks that the Detroit Lions have, half of them have come from the D-line. The other half have come from the linebacker and the secondary positions. I would like that number to be 80-20, 75, 70-30 at best. 80-20, 75-25, 70-30 at best. Now I know what you guys are saying. Well, Nick Bonito, he's a linebacker who rushes the passer. Yes, he is. You can put him in the same category as Brian Burns, Josh Hines-Allen, any of those linebacker designations that all they do is rush the passer. I'll give him that. I will give him that, even though linebackers are not technically D-ends. Micah Parsons is a linebacker, but he's a pass rusher, right? It's almost like tomato at this point. So I agree with this 100%, but with even that, we are last in pass rush run rate. And I wonder how many of those belong to Hutch. I wonder. Let's continue. Who could be on the move? Says defensive tackle Roy Lopez. I didn't really think of that name. The Lions are viewed as a serious Super Bowl contender. And although it's unlikely that Lopez will be traded, he could benefit from a better situation from an individual standpoint. Detroit is loaded with talent at defensive tackle. I agree. Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, and rookie Tyleek Williams. Lopez started in all 16 of his appearances last season with the Cardinals, but he has yet to start for Detroit, and that's coming from our guy, Eric Woodyard. So the Detroit Lions are dead last in pass rush win rate. Try saying that 5 times fast. There's a reason for that. Roy Lopez, never really thought of him. He's a guy I don't think about. But somebody out there could be looking for a defensive tackle, and maybe they'll be willing to part ways with him. The San Francisco 49ers traded for Keion White. The New York Jets decided that they were going to trade for John Mechie. I don't know if they're buyers and sellers or what. If they think they have a chance this season, I'm not sure. But I wonder what that means for Will McDonald and Breece Hall. Now, who could be targeted? Says Dolphins edge rusher Jaylen Phillips. Although Al-Qadim Muhammad has taken a real step forward, the Lions could use a number 2 rusher to threaten opponents and still use Muhammad as a rotational third player. I don't see anything. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I would want. Phillips fits the bill because of his pass rushing, his 17.1 pass rush win rate at edge is above average, and strength against the run. He currently ranks 6th in run stop win rate at edge. There you go. Absolutely perfect. That's exactly, these guys took all of them, literally took the words out of my mouth. AQM, solid depth piece. That's what he is. James Houston had an opportunity. All he was is depth, to be honest with you. In Dallas now, they're not talking as much stuff as they were talking the first couple of weeks of the season and the preseason. You know why? Consistency. I saw it from Hutch. I see it from AQM. No disrespect. Now, surprisingly, going into last week, Jaylen Phillips only had 1 sack. Now he has 2. He has 2 sacks on the season. This is the guy that I'm talking about. This is a Super Bowl draft capital saving move, right? And the reason I say Super Bowl, there's no investing in the future with Jaylen Phillips. Or is there? Is that one reason that the Detroit Lions might have signed Hutch early to maybe draw and be able to sign someone in the future outside of the guys they have to sign? This is exactly what I've been saying. And, I'm not a big, PFF guy or anything like that. But AQM, while on pace for a career year, the guy is a backup. He is a depth piece. If he makes a name for himself, has a career year this year, goes and sign a decent deal, that'd be great for him. If it's here, that's great as well. I'm not saying for the guy to leave the team. What I'm saying is I need to see consistency. I really do. And again, I think who fits the bill more is Jaylen Phillips. And on top of that, we know how our team feels against the run. You can rush the passer all you want, but if you're good against the run, that's when you really catch the Detroit Lions' eye. So for me, there's a lot of stuff to consider, a lot of options at edge rusher during the trade deadline, but how many teams are going to want to move their players? So the Dolphins are faced with a little bit of a situation. And any team that's willing to part ways with the guy that's on the last year of his deal. If you were to trade a player and that player is now on the new team and they leave that new team in free agency, the new team gets the compensatory pick. So Jaylen Phillips will be a free agent if he's not franchise tagged from the Miami Dolphins at the end of the season. If they let him walk, they will probably get a comp pick. He'll probably get a decent sized deal. You can get anywhere. The highest comp pick you can get is a third. However, what they can do now is control the draft pick compensation. They can't control it after he leaves. So right now, they can control it. After he leaves, they cannot. So if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm weighing my options. The season is done. You're 2-6. You're not going anywhere. Tyreek Hill is done. Career may be over, but he's done in Miami. All you really have is a few players. Your quarterback, you don't even know you don't even know if your coach is going to be there at the end of the year after the year is over. So Miami would be smart to control the compensation that they can get and part ways with Jaylen Phillips. I think Jaylen Phillips, he got nine games to stay healthy. 9 games to stay healthy. And who knows? We might be able to try to finagle something with him next year because the Detroit Lions defensive line is going to be a catastrophe next year. Coming out of the season, when we enter the end of the season and whatever way that is, Super Bowl, playoffs, whatever, and we go into the off-season mode, they have a lot of work to do on the defensive line. Off the top of the head, the people that I know are under contract, Mekhi Wingo, Aiden Hutchinson, Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil. I really don't know off the top of the head who else is there. Marcus Davenport, gone. Levi, gone. Pascal, gone. Reader, gone. A lot of people. Lopez, I don't remember what his deal was. We've got Lacey, Wheat, Pat O'Connor. It's going to look a whole lot different. Maybe Jaylen Phillips could be the jumpstart to that new defensive line because we're going to have to tackle the defensive line via free agency and the draft. I don't believe that the Detroit Lions can ignore the defensive line this year. And when I say, I think that Brad has put a bunch of resources into the secondary. Think about it. The secondary is all but locked up. All we need to do is extend Branch, re-sign Amik Robertson. Those are locked. But 4 of our 5 starters in the secondary are at least here next year. 3 of them are locked up. 1 or both of the other 2 of the 5 are going to get extensions. So by the time we enter the legit part of free agency, because remember, we can sign our guys first. By the time we enter that part, our entire secondary could be locked up for years to come. Linebacker, Derek Barnes is locked up. Don't know what's going to happen to Alexander Zaloni. Malcolm will probably get an extension, right? And whoever else Brad decides to do. But then we trickle down to that defensive line, and it's going to look different. So that's 5 people I just named on the D-line that won't be back. On top of the potential Super Bowl push this season. I like what they said. I don't disagree with any of it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you know what it is. You choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Don't forget, 2 more days of the Cancer Cares t-shirts, and then we'll wrap it up for this year.